What is going on, guys? MJ2005 gonna here. I excuse for the terrible quality, but today I'm gonna be unboxing the high-grade Xi Gundam vs Penelope Fundal Missile Effect set, and oh my god, is this thing large. This box comes in at 59 times 24 times 40 centimeters, so yep, this is just how large this box is. I struggle to put it in my own room, as you can see. It's blocking the ladder up to my bed. But anyways, the box art over here looks absolutely phenomenal. Like, these are literally just CG renders of the two Gundams that are included in this kit. Wow, it does look pretty awesome. The standard Xi is also out for a price of 390 Hong Kong dollars, while this thing over here cost me 1,074 Hong Kong dollars. So yeah, all that saving isn't for nothing, I guess. So yeah, of course here you have a shrunken version of the box art on the sides, and of course rotating here towards the back we do have the product images of what is also included in the kit. So we do have the Xi with the funnel missile effects, Penelope with funnel missile effects, and of course here we have a short blurb for the Xi Gundam that addresses the transformation between the normal mode and the flight form, and the same thing goes for the Penelope, and of course the separation into the fixed flight unit and the Odysseus Gundam. And of course over here we have everything that is included in the kit. This is a humongous display, which is, I don't know what to talk about. Like, this is literally the most ambitious thing that I bought in my Gunpla career. And of course this kit does come with water decals, but I'm not going to be applying these for the sake of the review, because of course I'm going to review the Xi first. Of course I may be able to find time to put those on, because there are tons of reviews for the Penelope out, so as far as I can push out the Xi review, then I'm going to be fine. Of course, here's some legal text over here. The RRP is completely gone, but it costs 17,385 yen. Now, I've unhitched the latches over here. There's nothing on the bottom of the box, so don't worry about that. And it's going to be a little bit tough to open this up, because this is just a huge box. I haven't even seen the inbox contents. So let me just stand up here and open these flaps up and lay it flat. And of course in here, just like the Karuga, we have a separator over here. I think I may have, yes, I definitely have cut my finger on the box, so I'm going to patch it up later. But over here on this side, it's going to be the Xi Gundam parts, I believe. Over here, it's going to be probably the Penelope, I don't know, but I don't know if it is separated according to the Gundams, but here we have it. So with that out of the way, back to the studio. So back in the studio, I'm gonna take a look at the Xi Gundam parts first, but none of the Gundam's parts are gonna be out of their bags because I just can't be bothered for the video. So first of all, here we have the C plates with all the whites, and of course the shield parts, which is pretty nice, and the G parts for the inner frame. This piece looks a little bit peculiar, but it's for the waist nonetheless. Somebody sent me WhatsApp. I had to keep my ringtone on just because there is gonna be a delivery today, so hopefully it rings me soon. But I don't know. Anyways, here is the F plates. So they are duplicates of each other. And then here we have the K plate with some of the navy blue parts, and of course the two sets of beams. Now, please clear up something for me, because I think the Xi does also have some over-the-shoulder cannons, but I think they have been downgraded into the beam sabers on this version. Is that true? Or can the beam sabers also function as beam cannons on this version? Because I fondly remember the version of the Xi Gundam from EX versus Massey Boost or whatever, just the Extreme versus titles, they have over the shoulder cannons, but within the cannons are the beam sabers. So I don't know if these beam sabers can actually act as the beam cannons, or are they just being straight up downgraded into beam sabers? Like, I don't know. This thing does have a lot of damn plates. And of course here we have the water slides, which are very nice, but it's gonna take me another 16 hours per kit as far as I can imagine. So no, I'm not gonna be going through those. Now, by the way, the box contents are not segregated in accordance to whichever Gundams the parts belong to. So yeah, take note of that. So you may need to sort the parts out for yourself before you start the build, because it's gonna get really messy if you buy this set. Now the sticker sheet is larger than I expected, honestly, but I'm gonna see where these parts go, because there seems to be a lot of very large stickers in this set. And of course, well, I don't know why this exists, but if the bottom of the shield is not colored in white, then I'm not gonna be too surprised that they use a sticker for that. Moving on over here, we have some binder parts. I'm gonna pan the camera up just because. Some binder parts, some hand parts. Now the open hands, of course, they are hollow shells, so you will need to actually fill those in if you want it to look good. So this stack of parts over here are for the Xi Gundam. And moving on, there are no polycaps, or so it seems. Let me remove this pile of junk to take a look at the instruction booklet over here. This kit is probably going to be a very involved build, judging from the booklet over here. So we do have the finished product in the front, and of course the stats and loadout. Very nice. It's of course from Hathaway's Flash. And of course the black and white pages are going to be warnings, what not to do, parts count 2 pages, and for Japanese the order sheet and the QR code. And then moving on, over here we have the order of assembly adapted from Re-Rise, thank God. So we do have the mobile suit mode, weapons, and the transformation of the toes, and the full-on transformation into the flight form. Now, according to the Xi Gundam's box, the transformation is going to be achieved by with like parts forming is going to be involved in the transformation. So yeah, I'm a little bit weary about that, because I would expect this thing to fully be able to transform just like the SD was able to do so, but they're on a completely different caliber, so I'm not going to judge according to what the SD had to offer, because yes, I did have the the SD Xi Gundam, which is a completely different design. It's the more well-known design with the blue chest pieces and that stuff. And over here in the middle, we do have the blurbs of the Xi Gundam. These are all from the box, so the blurbs are going to be up now if you want to read them. Okay, good. So let's move on. And of course, the lineage over here, we do have the lineup of mobile suits from Hathaway's Flash. We have the Messer Type F1, the Penelope, and of course the Xi Gundam. Moving on with the build, of course we do continue with the waist, assemble everything together. Apparently the shoulder armor came after the arms, like that's weird, and the head came after everything. So yeah, this doesn't look like it's going to be a conventional order of assembly, or so it seems. And of course at the backpack, the beam sabers are going to be 3 pieces, which is alright. They can swivel, which is very nice. So maybe they can still function as beam cannons, who knows. And of course we do have the weapons over here. Still really don't understand why there's going to be a sticker for the underside of the shield. And the shield, as demonstrated by GBT, is on the sliding track. Of course here we have some instructions for the beam sabers themselves, and the transformation into the flight form in the back. And then finally, the photos over here, the studio photos and the color guide. So that's gonna wrap it up for the parts of the Xi Gundam. Moving on to the Penelope, of course with no particular order. First of all, here we have the M plates, and yeah, the shipping company just called right after I just finished the unboxing of the Xi parts. Apparently the Gundam Unit 5 has just shipped, so yeah, intermission had to be taken. So I don't know. My English is all over the place because I'm so excited to get back to streaming. Of course, as you can tell from my tone, my voice is almost back. I still feel like, yeah, it still hurts a little bit to talk because the inflammation is not completely gone yet, but I think I may get like a bottle of herbal tea just to accompany me in the streams, just so my voice can last a little longer and not get thrashed again. But of course here I have the Penelope parts, more of them, and the sticker sheet is just as large because of course this thing does have a large pair of eyes, and because of the feet armor I can't really tell what is like underneath them, but it's mostly going to be gray stickers, but for the most part stickers for the fixed flight unit, because I've heard that the Odysseus Gundam doesn't have too many stickers. And look at this thing right here. These are the fan parts over here. Like, I really wish they are individual so that I can spread them out, but I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this. This has, I don't know, because I'm so excited, but I have a knack for fan thrusters, kind of like this. So yeah, to not be able to adjust them is a little bit iffy to me, but don't treat it as a complaint. It's just me being me with my ADHD. So yeah, I really love to mess with stuff you guys don't know. That's kind of like one of the features of ADHD. You just want to mess with everything. But anyways, here we have some more of the large white parts. It's kind of more like a purplish white, kind of like the Marcosius and the Hajiroboshi. So yeah, the Penelope is not going to be in this complete white, and I already have to clear the stage just because apparently the Penelope has more parts than I thought. There goes one piece. Oh, fucking hell. Moving on, we have some more of these pieces. And then finally, we have the white pieces over here. Apparently, there doesn't seem to be any beams. Not from what I just looked at. Like, I don't know. Were there any beams? I think there may be beams, but I am just not paying attention. But anyways, here we have the instruction booklet as per usual with the Gundam in the front with stats over here. Of course, it's from Hathaway's Flash, classic Universal Century instruction manual cover. And of course, here we have the usual, not going to talk about them again. And moving on here, apparently it does have the order of assembly, and I don't know if the display base is included, but apparently probably not, considering the fact that we do already have the display bases for the funnel missile effects set, which I'm going to cover later on. So we have the Penelope weapons, and then we do have the flight form transformation, and of course the separation into the fixed flight unit and the Odysseus Gundam. And the build is just the conventional order of assembly, starting off with the torso, head, arms, legs, and here the other leg, and assemble all together with the waist. And now we have the Odysseus Gundam basically, and we put on the armor parts for the fixed flight unit. We basically build the fixed flight unit onto the Gundam and the rest of the fixed flight unit. So assemble all of those parts. This is going to be a pain in the ass to do on stream even. And then we just continue to build the Mecha Chicken, build it onto the core unit, and we stop with an ad break over here with the blurbs that I'm going to put on screen right now. So if you're done, good. Now, we do also have a lineage of the Gundams in the Universal Century. So we start off with the new Gundam, which is basically one of the larger Gundams in the line, and then we go on to Unicorn, and the narrative, which technically did come before the new Gundam because it's the new Gundam prototype. But of course, in the timeline, it appeared later down the line. And of course, we move on to UC-105 with the humongous monsters that we have on the videos today. And in UC-123, they shrunk their Gundams down significantly. So I don't know, apparently the F-91 has way more advanced technology when compared to the Penelope and the Cassie, so technologically speaking they are more advanced and thusly may be able to outmaneuver the big monsters of today and take them down. So yeah, size isn't everything, as the UC has demonstrated. So I think this is the transformation into the flight unit. No, it's the continued assembly of the fixed flight unit onto the Gundam to make it the Penelope. Finally, we move on to the weapons, and then we just stick in the beams. Oh, it's SP13 beams, so I don't think it's gonna cause too much of a hassle anyways. I have a ton of those, so yeah, I can omit them easily. And you can also flip out the beam cannon that is inside of the gauntlets. And you can open up the panels over here to simulate the firing the funnel missiles. And of course, what the hell is this? The open vents? I don't know what this is. Like, I'm not really too familiar with the Penelope, but I'm trying. Okay, I'm gonna do some research later on. before I do the review. Now, of course, the display base I can completely omit, just because I don't think it is included. And now we do the transformation into the flight form. So yeah, I don't think any parts needs to be shifted, or not necessarily shifted, but removed and then shifted into a different position. So this is going to be a completely full transformation with some lock-in mechanisms, which is going to be very, very good. And what is it? Assemble the Penelope, remove display base. Oh, this is the detachment of the armor to form the fixed flight unit. I wonder if the fixed flight unit can function as a separate unit. Like, I don't know, because that is not a feature when you look at it from the Extreme Versus titles. You can only purge the fixed flight unit at a certain threshold and then summon it once again at the after the cooldown for the fixed flight unit runs out. So yeah, it's pretty weird, but I don't really necessarily know, because, well, the movie has been delayed again. So yeah, well, unfortunately Japan is in lockdown currently, so the movie had to be delayed. And we do have some adapter parts to fit all the parts onto each other, just to form the fixed flight unit. And of course you can put it up on the display base. And finally we move on to the colored pages over here. The gimmicks, the flight form, which I really like. Like, this apparently wasn't a thing for the Penelope previously. It was only made for the movie. I never knew this. Well, according to the version Ka signature Robodamashi promotional video anyways, like, the flight form is created for the movie. Like, the Penelope did receive a slight redesign. Like, you can easily go ahead and find the differences between the previous designs and the current design. Like, at least the head looks way more traditional when compared to the ridiculous looking head that was the Penelope in Extreme Versus. So that's gonna wrap it up for the parts for the Penelope. And now we finally move on to the parts that only are provided in this set. First of all, here we have the braces for the funnel missile effect parts. So yeah, these are gonna come in handy very much. And I don't know why there are two versions of the brace. Like, why? What's the point? But I will find that out later on. Next up, we have two octagons over here for the base. I think this is the action base 1 or 2. It's definitely not the 2. So this is going to be the action base 1. So clear versions that, well, here we have 2 for each Gundam, which is pretty generous. Which, well, in the market costs 110 Hong Kong dollars. So yeah, I guess the extra cost that went into this kit is worth it. And we have 2 sets of funnel missiles, sets of 12 per. So I forgot which colors correspond to which, but I'm gonna easily know that from the instructions, so please don't tell me in the comments. But here we have 2 distinct sets of funnel missiles that only differ in shade. And then finally we have the main star of the show, the actual funnel missile effects. Now this is only one set of them, just because the other set is exactly the same, so I might as well bring that in. And of course here you can see some like multiple holes to plug the funnel missile effects sets onto. And of course you have the blast effects, and we have the curve effects, like the fire trail as the funnel missiles are being launched. And I'm gonna move all of this out of the way to bring you guys the instruction manual over here. Be sure to read this guide before assembling. Please note that K6 part that is indicated in the instruction manual of the Xi Gundam and BA2 parts that is indicated on the instruction manual of the Penelope are not included in this product. Use other instruction manuals as reference to assemble the Xi and Penelope first. Gather the parts to feature MS. Using other instruction manuals as reference, do not assemble how to attach action base on page 16 and 17 of the Xi Gundam's instruction manual. Do not assemble 16 display base on page 25 of the Penelope's instruction manual. Please use this instruction manual as a reference to display the bases and to apply water decals. So the bases are not included in the other sets. And of course, since the Xi Gundam, the vanilla Xi Gundam, does not come with a stand, they told us to ignore whatever was talked about for the adapter, which of course I'm not going to ignore, because over here we do have instructions for them. Now of course here we have some older sheets, so yeah, this is gonna be freaking expensive. And we do have the what is it, these are gonna be the funnel missiles. And then we do have the water slides over here, which I think are gonna be released separately later on, I'm not too sure, but a bunch of water slides were announced at the same time, so of course I'm gonna be missing out on some. And here at the parts gun up here, and of course we do have the key and the assembly of the action base. Like, if you have a ton of these, you will know what is going on here. And we do have the different FF parts. So we have A, B, C, D, and EF, basically long, mid, and short for the FF parts in different directions. And of course we just stick the funnel missiles into the blast FF parts, and then stick the entire thing into the trail FF parts to create the funnel missile launching sequence. Now we do have the assembly instructions for the brace and the custom adapter that this set does come with. So of course you do have an extra adapter that is made for the braces over here. This is for the Xi Gundam, and the Penelope Gundam is basically going to be, no, it's not going to be the same, because the Penelope Gundam does also have, well, the Penelope, the Odysseus Gundam, same thing. But yeah, I know that's gonna offend a lot of people. But anyways, you do use this extra bridge over here to bridge out the I don't know, put the funnel missiles a little bit backwards, just to accommodate for the fixed flight unit, because it doesn't have any funnel missiles without that fixed flight unit. And of course we do attach the same adapter, shift some armor pieces around, and then wrap it around in the Penelope's butt. So I think this is a transfer to while it's on display base is in flight form. Okay, so this is basically how to attach the flight form into the action base 1. And the funnel missiles are just gonna be attached with these effect parts. So these attach onto the brace, and finally you attach A, B, C, D, E, and F onto the like the wave effect parts, like however you like. And of course the funnel missiles, apparently, well, the lighter color ones are for the Xi, the darker color ones are for the Penelope. So remember about that. And oh my god, this will render me sleepless if I do decide to actually put on all the water slides after the Xi review. So this is going to be finally wrapping up for the Xi Gundam versus Penelope, what is it, funnel missile effect set. So yeah, this was a long one, so timestamps are going to be in the description, so you can skip to whichever unboxing that you want to view. Of course I'm going to be streaming this right after I have finished like editing the unboxing, and of course I do have another one to do in the form of the G05, so that's going to be a little bit of hindrance to my plans. But anyways, that is going to wrap it up for this video. I will see you guys in the stream, and if not, in their respective reviews. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this video, and I'll see you all in the next videos. Peace.